Stare into the purple abyss and find your purpose.
I like to bake desserts and bread.
Purpose, easy to follow, sandwich bread guide.
Well,
I'm Perp Merc, and my purpose today is to teach you how to make bread. I'm pretty dumb, and if I can do it, that means almost anyone can.
don't be intimidated. It's really not that hard, especially once you get a rhythm.
These are the ingredients.
Other stuff. Now let's go step by step and I'll show you the way. Grab a small pot.
1.5 cups of water.
Put it in the pot. Half a cup of milk. Put it in the pot. The recipe calls for 4 tablespoons of butter, but I use 5. I slice it in half so it melts faster. Put it on a very low heat. Stir it sometimes. Use a bread thermometer to monitor the temperature. Too cold and the yeast won't wake up, too warm and they die. Whilst you are waiting for that to warm, you can start measuring your flour. The reason the flour varies so much is because it depends on the moisture of your environment and even your altitude.
It's really not that serious. You'll get a feel for it.
My environment required about 700 grams, which is just under 6 cups.
Don't forget to stir.
Take 2 cups from your pre-measured flour and put it in a mixing bowl. Add 1 tablespoon of salt. 3 tablespoons of sugar. 1 tablespoon of active dry yeast. Mix it slightly. You want your liquid between 120 and 125 degrees. Pour it into the flour, sugar, and yeast mixture you made slowly. Mix it in as you go. After that's combined, start mixing in half a cup of flour at a time. Keep adding more until it looks like thick pancake batter. Just about like this. And this is the part where I switch to my KitchenAid. If you don't have one, you can also do it by hand. I used to.
Hey, yo, time to make bread.
Anyway, just keep mixing in flour half a cup at a time, repeatedly. If you're clumsy, turn off your KitchenAid when dumping the flour in, because then you'll drop the cup and then it'll just screw up everything. Keep adding flour until you run out. It should start solidifying. Okay, now that all my flour's in, I'm gonna let it knead for about 10 minutes. Also, if your house is cold and you don't have a bread proofer, then preheat your oven to a low temperature like 190 degrees.
I'm also just cold and the heat doesn't work here.
Oh boy, it's almost done. Now I set up a container for the bread to rise in. I prefer to use stainless steel with olive oil. Make sure to get it in every crevice. Now, put olive oil on your hands. Now scrape the dough out of the mixing bowl. Get as much as you can, but if some is left behind, it's okay.
That's pretty much all I'm gonna get. I don't feel like scraping the rest. Now for my signature move. Air. Most normal people need it on the counter. I do it in the air. Alright.
Pro tip to know when it's basically done.
You don't want it to stick to you immediately, but you want it to stick to you if you hold it for a while. That's how you know. At least, that's what I know. It shouldn't stick to you to the touch. It should stick to you if you hold it.
Now put it in that greasy pot. Put a pinch of olive oil on top so it doesn't dry out. Now cover it with a clean, damp kitchen rag or a silicone baking mat or something, I don't know. Put it on top your warm oven and leave it there for
1 hour.
You gotta wait. Grow some patience. Oh boy, it doubled in size. Grease your bread pans. I preheated my oven again to give the yeast one more boost.
Me too, I'm cold in this bitch.
Try your best to evenly split this in half. I just eyeball it because I don't care. Now form it into a loaf shape, which is like a football, kind of, I guess. Now cover it again and set it on the warm stove. Don't forget to turn off the oven.
When you eat out in the food.
Now it's time to bake. 375 degrees for 30 minutes. After the oven preheats, of course. Hey, one's sticking a little, but that's okay. Stuff happens. Alright, as you heard, 375 for 30 minutes. It's always fun to color the top of it with butter. They didn't rise past the brim, and they're not equal sizes, but I included this bake just to show you don't have to be perfect. Nothing in this world is perfect, but as long as you try, that's what matters. Everybody should learn how to make bread. It's pretty fun, and it's more waiting than working. And it's so delicious, and it doesn't have all those crappy chemicals in it like the grocery store bread does. I hope you enjoyed my bread tutorial. I hope it was easy to follow. If it wasn't, maybe you're just dumb and should watch the video in half speed. Or maybe the video did suck and it was hard to follow. Either way, see you next time.